Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Rev. This is
Old School.
Today we're actually going to turn our Project Sporty into a Springer. We've been calling it the Springer Sporty Build, and hopefully in this episode we'll see why we've been calling it the Springer Sporty Build. So we got a little scotch.
Nice.
We've got a heater in the garage, and we've got some instruction sheets. So let's see if we can figure this out.
Let's do it.
If motorcycles are of interest to you, if you like following adventures of other people on motorcycles, if you like talking about new parts, accessories, all those kinds of things, you're in the right spot. We would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. What is your project that you're working on currently? And, you might want to hit the bell icon as well so that you're among the first to know when we post new content like that, which we're working on today.
I mean, it was purchased on Amazon or like by a company that does motorcycle parts or like...
Dude, it is some like legit Chinese knockoff carburetor. But yeah. I'd seen a couple videos on YouTube of people who had ran them, and they get really good reviews. Yeah. I was actually surprised.
Sounded good when you started up the other day.
The guy that works in parts at Man of War in Lexington, he commented on the video. I was like, man, mine's running great on my bike. So I guess
had he been using it for a while?
He's been using it for a bit, and so.
So in the video you mentioned, well, for now we're going to use this. So is your plan to rebuild the other one?
Yeah, I want to rebuild the stock one. Basically set it up the same way, but rebuild the stock one. Put all the parts in a parts washer, ultrasonic cleaner, and get it all.
Is there differences in like the fittings and stuff versus the stock? Like, I mean, because it looks pretty legit.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think maybe some of the machining, like you could see, like it's a little like rough around the edge there, but like if we were building a race bike, I think that would make some difference. But for what we're doing,
some 12-year-old Chinese kid was like, "Is that good?" Yeah, that's fine. We're good. It's fine.
Exactly
that'll work.
Right.
Yeah. So no, it looks good, man. Sounded good, like I said.
So first things first is we got to put our bearing races in, and I think we can do them two at a time.
I was wondering if we were going to do that first.
Yeah. So do you know where you keep bearing races?
On that table over there, I think.
Follow me. Okay, I'll show you where we keep bearing races.
All right. Oh, we're going inside the main house.
That's easy.
Oh, to the cave here. What is going on? We're in the freezer? Frozen?
Doesn't everybody keep their bearing races on top of their bourbon ice balls?
All right. This is going to be a lot of maintenance to ride this bike.
Now we got to move quickly.
Oh, we got to be quick about this.
I learned this from an old gray-haired motorcycle mechanic. If you put these parts in the freezer, the cold temperature causes the metal to contract, and they almost slide. You can almost slide them in without a tool. But good thing we have a tool that'll allow us to pull both of these in at the same time. Okay.
Any assistance here?
Dude, look at you. Look at you.
I can lend a hand.
Thanks for lending a hand.
I'm not here just for my good looks.
All right. Let's see if we can sink this top one in. We utilized a cup from a different tool set, a different bearing press, because I think the problem with the tool that we purchased was the press was just a little bit bigger than the bearing race. This actually feels like it's going in much straighter.
It's sliding in very nicely. That's what she said. Sorry.
Gotta have one.
You gotta have one.
Gotta have one at every video. Do you know what? The beautiful thing about spending way too much money on tools and parts is we had what we needed. Just
Oh, show.
had to reevaluate. Adapt and overcome. Okay. That was intense.
Good job. Good job.
Old school comes to
So
us.
this came from this kit. What is? So this was, you got this when you did the exhaust?
Well, so it's actually like a bearing race and press kit.
Oh, okay.
But we did use it for the Harley Davidson exhaust flange gaskets. I think it might have actually been that same size.
Nice.
Got the shot. Dude, you about need a refill, buddy. Old school's still at work.
Yeah. Well, Hendrick Chrysler's been having an issue with e-contract, and so I had to go up to one of our directors to try to fix it. So it looks like we're getting fixed. So that's cool.
All right. Now we get to use another special tool that we bought.
Is it me?
Dude, faux show. All right, so we need the bearing ray, or the dust seals that you just went and picked up. Okay.
Are they in the freezer too?
Ooh, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm almost embarrassed that our YouTube friends have to see the top of my box like this. So there is, of course, the old school way of doing bearings. The old school way, where you put a big glob of grease in your hand, and then you work the bearing around.
I didn't see any grease.
I'm a little bougie, and I don't want to do that. So we bought another handy dandy little tool here, where we're gonna stick that down in there likey so. Give her a good press. Oh yeah.
It's a fancy greaser tool.
And that gets all the grease down in our rollers, and we didn't have to get dirty.
So are you saying it goes in easier when it's well lubricated?
That's essentially what we're saying here, yes.
But you don't prefer your hand? I'm taking notes here.
It's a little messy.
I got
a little
you. Okay.
messy.
All right, let's see.
So we're going to put our dust seal on. Okay.
This is what you had to go back and get?
That's the one we had correct.
Oh, okay.
It's the one for the top that was wrong.
Gotcha.
Because that bottom one actually sits up in, and the top one over and around. They gave us two inside ones.
It's getting serious now.
I don't like
We're
grease.
gloving up. I mean, it is getting serious.
All right. So we'll take our bearing, and we probably, let me see, is there a little doodad over here? Whoa, that was probably real close to my head. Get some of this excess off here. Okay, I'm gonna drop that on there. Ooh. Okay, now we get to use another new tool.
Nice.
This was the kind of expensive tool.
Did you just do this project to collect more tools?
Yes, that was one of the advantages. Dude, it is driving me nuts that nothing is in the right spot. Ah, here it is. It's over here. This is the Whacker Inner Beater 1000. So these are press fit down here, and this little tool from Motion Pro is supposed to make this much easier for us. Got to get this out of the top though. Okay, so we got a little bit of a gap there, so we just gotta finesse this until it's on there. In there. Okay.
Nice.
Just want to make sure I got everything. Problem solved. Yeah, see, the last ones he gave me weren't even in packages. So how could he have known what he... All right, old school, this is where you're going to get to help.
All right.
A bunch. Oh, I got to go up a little bit more. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Spin faster.
I'm sorry.
It's got a long way to go.
It does.
Is it even threading on there?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard when you have a little nut. You don't feel it right away.
Oh
But it
no.
still gets the job done.
Old school's got grease on his fingers.
Oh man, I didn't have gloves.
This is not.
What the heck?
Okay.
Does it move freely?
Yeah, we're gonna have to tighten it up just a smidge. Whew. Let's
Nice.
get old school a towel.
Look at that. Got a Springer, baby.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, looks good. So, as far as the rake, how did you determine that?
Yeah, so I made some educated guesses. Now this is a +4, so it's a 4 over Springer. So what that means is the legs of the Springer, they are 4 inches longer than the stock fork tubes.
Okay.
So +2, +4 is pretty common. +6 is when it starts to get really raked out, and you have to start, like, some would argue that you should redo the
So you're thinking
frame.
+4 is about as far as you can go without altering your frame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's been done without that, but I really wanted to maintain
Looks
some
nice.
rideability.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think 4 is probably about as much as you can get away with. I mean, you can even see how much we had to jack it up just to get the front wheel on.
Yeah.
Because not only are we doing 4 over on the Springer, but we did a 21-inch front tire, so that gives a little more beef. Now, it'll even out a little bit because we went up to a larger rear wheel,
Okay.
but the tire profile is going to be about the same. So we got to take the shocks off because we haven't ordered rear shocks yet because wanted to kind of get the right stance. So once we get things kind of mocked up where we want it, we'll come back, let the front end sit, and we'll jack the back up without the shocks on to kind of figure out the measurement for our rear shocks. So we're finishing up the install on the front end, and I'm really missing my camera lady this morning. Mama Moto is the director of youth ministry and communications at our church, and we had some events today, so she and the boys are away doing that. And in the meantime, I'm trying to finish this up, and you're stuck with me, a tripod, and the very best that DJI has to offer. But we installed this off camera, and so I wanted to come back and make sure I talked about this because this is a great little adapter bracket. So on the stock Moto Iron Springer front end, the riser mounting points are, I think it's 4.75 inches. And the flat spot on the handlebars that I am running from Prism Supply Co. is about 5 inches. And I think it might even be slightly less than that. And so bottom line here is these were probably not going to work, or at best they were going to be really close. And so TC Bros offers this adapter plate, and a huge shout out to TC Bros. All of this front end came from TC Bros, and I'm very pleased with them. You know, the quality is not what I would expect from, you know, my friend the fabricator down the street, but it really is solid stuff, especially for the money. And for a guy like me that's just kind of getting into building a bike and wanting to build something in my garage, this is great quality. I'm not dissatisfied with it at all. So this bracket allows us to attach to the Springer front end, and they're standard riser mount locations, but it lets us bring our risers in to fit the stock Harley riser mount location. So if you want to run your stock Sportster handlebars, you can do that with this. They do sell a Springer riser that mounts right here in this location. They're very attractive. They're a great looking piece. And if you don't have a particular set of handlebars you want to run, TC Bros offers a wide variety of shapes and heights of handlebars designed specifically for this front end install. However, as I mentioned in former videos, I have become a huge Prism fanboy, and they are located literally 15 minutes from my house. And so I'm trying to run as many parts from Prism as possible. And so I'm going to run these bars right here. And so we just needed a little more space on this setup. And so this bracket allowed us to do just that. So I'm going to try to get our front wheel mounted up. Don't laugh at me, because I'm sure this is going to be a challenge doing this by myself for the first time with a camera pointed at me. So don't laugh. I could raise the lift, I suppose, but you know, if you're not doing things the hard way, what are you really doing? Again, we're running this entire setup came straight from TC Bros. The wheel is a Moto iron wheel. Give her a little persuasion here. All right. Hey, that wasn't so bad. I'm sure somebody will find a way to continue to make fun of me, but for the moment, we at least get to mount her up and see what it looks like. So this is a 21-inch spool wheel from Moto Iron. And again, this whole front end came from TC Bros. Wonderful product, wonderful customer service. Couldn't ask for more. In fact, I want to point out, I called yesterday to ask a question about these spacers. And I felt like it was a stupid question. And so when the representative answered the phone, I said, you know, dumb question. He stopped me. He said, there's no such thing as a dumb question. And I said, well, just wait till I ask it. So I asked my question, and he said, oh man, he said, it's always worth calling to make sure you've got something in the right location. So he said, that's what we're here for. Don't ever hesitate to give us a call. So really appreciate them and the way that they've treated me so far. I've spent a lot of money with them over the last couple of months getting these parts and pieces in, and I will definitely continue to shop there. So recommend you do as well. I'll throw a link to TC Bros down in the description, but they're great to work with.